Aloha everyone, Z808 here, and welcome to the mid-level Mirror World Madness Guide. I hope you have been completing all your dailies as they give you supply boxes and you need it to get the maximum score for the highest possible ranking at the end. Now with that said, let's jump into some recommendations as we are 2 weeks into this event. Now yesterday the region with the towers became available and is very daunting, these right here. However, you don't need to stress out and try not to finish it all in one go. At least I know I didn't. Now here are a few things to be aware of as you go through the towers. As you go higher and higher, so let's take a look, the enemies will have inflated stats. So as you see, I have done some of them and the levels jumped from level 70, 80, 85, and I think as high as 110 at the top floor. And this is only the outer ring. So there's 4 outer rings with 10 tower each. I was able to finish one of them here. However, the middle tower is even crazier. It's actually 50 from what I understand. 50 floors. And you're able to skip some stages if you finish in 2 turns or 4 turns. So it might be beneficial, at least for the middle tower, to use a pretty strong team. So that you can skip some stages. But with that said, things that to be really aware of is as such. So that one, and another thing is that my SP Sherry, let me just take a look real quick, which I've been using. She is actually not casted at all, 0 casting, but the score is pretty high because of the event bonuses. But she's pretty well enchanted, but she's not casted. So what that means is that by the time I get to around floor, I think 8 or 9, she was not able to one-shot some of the mobs, which is frustrating. So I highly recommend using a small team of strong heroes to clear 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 up to here. There is a mini boss. Oh, here, mini boss here, I believe, and on floor 5, and then there's the actual big boss at 10. So I highly recommend clearing up to 9 for each of the outside towers, and then when you're more focused and have time, tackle the bosses at 10 because they are definitely very challenging. With that said, the most difficult one from what I heard is Lucretia. This is a nightmare for a lot of people, so highly recommend doing some research online as well on some of the boss videos, which I will give a recommendation of who to check out at the end of this guide. With that said, I do have 2 essential tips that will make things a lot easier, and we're gonna go to the floating island. So tip number 1 is do not upgrade your Federation tent. Mine is still level 1. Yes, you heard that correctly. Do not upgrade it. The reason for that is that at level 1, you can actually reset your building for free as many times as you want. And by being able to do that, you can go and make changes to your different alliance oaths to whatever you want. So right now I have up to 27 that I can use, and for clearing lower stages I can go with Meteor full with the SP Sherry, and then for bosses then I can use the Empire. However, there are instances where the Glory line is a lot stronger, as well as some of the Princess line might be stronger for certain bosses. So that's why if you keep it at level 1, you can change your upgrades whenever you want, and that really helps to experiment, because depending on which heroes you have built and casted, it might be different for someone else. The other reason for not upgrading all the way up is that so I noticed that some people say that they are not able to build all 6 of the Langrisser memory buildings, and the reason is because if you upgrade all your Federation tent and your soldier training ground to max, you will not have enough material to build all 6, and you want all 6, and which leads up to the next tip. Okay, so I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure most of you already heard about it, but maybe some of you haven't. You notice that my sword here, crystal here, is glowing. Okay, what the glowing means is that I have a combination of different shards that I'm using from the sword that gives me bonuses, and this particular bonus is very, very good. I highly recommend it. Unit range +1, attack and intel will increase by 10%. Skill damage increased by 5%. You need this to kill, at fighting the bosses at the higher floors, and especially the last boss. I wouldn't recommend any other combos. There are a lot of other combos as well that are out there, but this is the one that I highly, highly recommend, especially with the Ferracria fight, where she have 5 range. So if you're able to have this plus Lucretia with range staff, for example, you may be able to hit her from 6 spaces away. I believe Tejas also is a common hero that people have that is able to do this. But so the question becomes, what do you need, right, to get the combo? So it is the first one, number 1, courage, which is number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, and then the last one is number 18. So these are the shards that you need in order to get that bonus. So one more time: 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the final 18. I know there are a couple other nice looking combos, but I haven't got it. But I think it requires number 20 shard. Okay, so hope that's helpful. And then of course, finally, the common question is that after this tower region, this very grindy, annoying region, how grindy is the rest of the event? So based on what I heard, this is the most grindy part, and unless you want to be top 50, you can take your time, and when the final regions opens up, you can get a fairly decent ranking still, depending on your server cluster. I highly recommend saving around 150 or so supply boxes. I don't have that many. I only have, well, I still have, but I still gonna be using it today to clear some of these tower stages. But you do get a fairly good amount by doing your dailies. Make sure you do your dailies. You get anywhere from 10 to 25 supply boxes each day, and hopefully by the time the ending, I think is the ending of next week, that's about when the last region opens. So you want to have around 150 or so supply boxes so that you're able to do the rush, especially if you want to get the top 50 rewards. So just real quick look at the rewards. I'm very behind, but even being so behind, I'm still 74-hour server, not as many people. And then as far as I understand, if you just want to get the 120,000 points, is still a good amount of rewards. But if you really want to get the maximum rewards over here, I think the threshold or the ideal area is the top 50, and even the top 100 is still very nice. It's still very nice. And one last thing, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but from there's actually no PvP mode in the Mirror World Madness. I believe there was a test trial for China and Taiwan and couple other servers, but Zilong decided that they are not going to do it for global, which is actually okay, because that's just one less thing that you have to worry about on your busy day, and you actually get all these really nice rewards immediately, and plus you get this 300 that you can use on your in your floating island immediately, and which I already did. This is the one, and I already used some for this particular, the very difficult get casting material. So I guess that's really it. Oh, and then I mentioned a little bit earlier that for the content creators, that's correct. So there's 2 noteworthy PvE content creators. One is called Shizuka, and the other one is called Wander2142. You can find the links to their YouTube channels in the description below. I would love to hear your progress, where you are. Like I said, I only finished this one tower, working on a second and the rest I haven't even started. Like this one I haven't started, the middle I haven't started, and of course this one I haven't started. So love to hear your progress and how many of you done all your dailies, and if maybe some of you missed some. But anyways, good luck, take care, and aloha.